Way back in episode 11 of the show, I talked about one of my most annoying to get collectible trophies ever. The KEROTAN frogs in Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater for the It Ain't Easy Being Green trophy. So there were 64 of these frogs hidden in each area of the game, making it a playthrough long quest to find and shoot them all, with some hidden in really sneaky places, and the game also required you to find them all in a single playthrough with no chapter select available. However, most of the BS anger was directed at the frogs found during the bike chase sequences later on in the game, as these on-the-rail sections would prove to be really frustrating to shoot the frogs in the distance as you sped past them on the bike. Machine guns, snipers and rockets were all used in a desperate attempt to get them, and needless to say, I wasn't a fan of this trophy.
Did you like it?
And that's kind of odd, to be honest, seeing as I've now shot all 64 KEROTAN frogs for the It Ain't Easy Being Green trophy 4 times over, having platinumed the PS3 HD collection version, plus the Vita version, and the PS4 Master Collection version, and now again on PS5 in Metal Gear Solid Delta. That's a whole lot of frogs, but what makes it worse in this version of the game is that not only does the pesky KEROTAN frogs return for another round of that trophy, but this time he's been joined by his little duck friend who has his own trophy for finding him 64 times in places that are somehow more annoying and harder to find than the frogs ever were. Oh my god, this one's ridiculous. Look at this. Look where this is up here. In the bloody roof. How are you supposed to see that? Look. What an absolute joke. I used to have nightmares about these demon frogs and trying to find them all, and now in Delta they come back, but now they've got reinforcements to just haunt me even more? It's honestly a worse fate than being CQC'd by the boss. Damn. Yeah, those frogs. They're still really annoying in those bike sections. It's still BS to try and hit them. But at least here you can save whenever you want and just reload each section, and trust me, you'll need to, as now in each area of the game you have 2 collectibles to shoot, the frog and the duck, for both of their trophies. And the problem with the ducks are that they are harder to spot, as they are often not fully visible, with a bright yellow duck often being covered in mud or dirt, making him harder to spot. Seriously, even when using a video guide, there were still moments where I was looking right at it, but I couldn't actually see him. I just don't get why they needed to add this extra layer of difficulty to the ducks by camouflaging them more, making them harder and harder to spot, as even the bright green frogs beforehand were still hard to see, so a yellow small frog sitting in a corner or hiding within a bush somewhere would still have been tricky to spot. It just didn't need to be made more difficult to find them by disguising them more, and in the end it just makes the ducks more BS than the frogs, as you just aimlessly run around an area trying to find wherever the hell they've put this yellow duck. Despite that visual change in difficulty though, the ducks still work in the same way as the frogs, so you need to shoot or punch each duck in order to collect it. And in the Delta version of the game, the pause menu actually shows you the collectibles in each area and puts a tick next to them when you've collected it, which is honestly a nice touch. And another plus point with Delta is that the collectibles carry over across playthroughs, so you no longer have to do it all in a single run through the game. And the save files also allow you to reload and get ones you missed, so you could even do it where you're playing through the game and you just shoot all the frogs in an area getting spotted by other guards, and then you reload your earlier save to sneak back through that area without getting caught, just avoiding all the frogs to keep your extreme playthrough Foxhound run intact. So it definitely helps, but this trophy for me is still BS. And the main reason is just why? I mean, why, of all the things they could have added to Delta, did they decide to just go for some cheap, easy option of just slapping another bunch of collectibles down? I mean, people were pissed with those frogs in the game, especially on the bike sections, but now you've got 2 to try and get in each area, making it even more of a frustrating experience when you're on the bike, because you'll likely just have to reload multiple times to try and get the both of them. It just seems like a total waste of dev time to me, as I don't know anyone who actually enjoys gathering pointless collectibles in games, as it's just a massive grind and a waste of time. Like the frogs, there's even ducks in the boss fights which you'll have to remember to pick up, and just like in past versions of MGS3, the game is full of points of no return where you can no longer backtrack to get any of the frogs or ducks that you've missed, and this happens as early as the first bit of the game, where if you miss any in that opening mission before the Snake Eater song plays, you won't be able to get them, as even though you go back through those areas, there's a totally new set of frogs there now just waiting for you to pick up, along with the ducks. Then there's other no points of return, like just after the Fury boss fight, where you can no longer go back through that and explore the mountain to get the frogs and ducks you've missed, which just makes this a tedious quest to catch them all, as you're constantly wary of going too far without getting ones you haven't got yet. Delta also has 2 game modes, Legacy, which kind of has half of the controls from the classic games and a part of the new games, just making it an awkward experience, and then New Style gives you a brand new third-person camera with all the new controls, but New Style is also harder to shoot the frogs and ducks, especially if you're using the tranq weapons, as they now stupidly have this awful bullet drop applied to them, which just seems to be random and can even wreck you in boss fights. The bike section has also felt worse in Delta, as Snake just turns around really slowly, and whenever you let go of the buttons, it will just turn around in the bike, but when you aim, it will snap you into the wrong direction, just making it just really jarring and awkward, and it's still really clunky to aim and shoot in those parts. Even if you're using the new third-person aim, it's not always reliable to hit them as you go past them. Metal Gear Solid 3's collectibles have always been annoying, and in Delta, by adding the frogs, it doubles the pain and the tedium, as you now have to gather 128 of them for these 2 trophies. While both of the frogs and ducks have really hard to spot ones at times that are put in some really BS places, and both have awkward ones to shoot on the bike sections with very few seconds to actually aim and get a shot off before the bike moves, I do have to give the ducks the edge, as not only are they new, but they are also made them harder to spot by coating them in mud. The It's Duck Season trophy in Metal Gear Solid Delta is definitely the most BS one, and it earns its BS rating of